All right, this video we're going to be covering the Ben Calimer Stage 1, Stage 2 transmissions so that you can do this. Come on. So we got our Calimer transmission in, and a lot of you MT82 folks have a lot of the same issues, which is lockout. And this transmission was a Calimer before, it was a Stage 1. We've now upgraded it to a Stage 2. The Stage 1 did fine. It was my fault. I let a clutch go too far, and at Daytona, the high-speed shifts finally ate one of the gears. So upgraded it to Stage 2, and now we've also got it paired with the Exedy Hyper Single, brand new. Really excited to get this put in. See, we're ready to put it in here. We've got the Exedy Hyper Single. It's going to be mated with the one-piece Ford Racing drive shaft, the aluminum. And yeah, let's get it going. All right, I finally got my Ben Calimer Stage 2 transmission installed. It's been a while, but it's hot as balls as it is in Florida. The car just hasn't gotten a whole lot of attention or anything car related. So I'm super excited to finally get this thing back. I feel like a member of my family has been gone forever, and I'm just seeing them again. So it's great to get it back. Some quick tips when you do that transmission: make sure to get the crate kit that they charge on the site. Just go ahead and get it. It comes with a box. They pre-ship it to you with a label. It's already got the bolts where you just slide your transmission in, ship it out, and then you can figure out what you want to do. Stage 1, Stage 2, Stage 3. I went Stage 2 with this most recent version because I deal with a lot of heat, a lot of tracking, and one of those tracks, you're bouncing from second, third, fourth, second, third, fourth, heel toe, heel toe. It's tight. It's tough on a transmission. I mean, you're just rowing, and on top of that, it's tough on brakes. It's just a tougher track, which is the firm. Love it, but man, it's tough on everything. Tires, you name it. So my initial feelings with this Ben Calimer is, of course, a lot of it can be played into the MGW, Exedy Hyper Single Clutch, the one-piece drive shaft. When you throw that in all into a cocktail, and you've got a really good setup that I'm really proud of. So it feels very good. Why did I go Exedy Hyper Single this time on a clutch? Dean Martin, for you folks that don't know who that is, he runs the GT4 program, Core Motorsports. Luca Mars drives for him. He's forgotten more about Mustangs than we'll probably ever know. So he helped develop that clutch. He told me to get it. So I got that. Of course, I'm running a divorced reservoir like you should. And it just feels good. I mean, I know I'm kind of just putzing around right now, but this is just it's amazing. It's just amazing how good this car feels now. And I did do some no lift shifts. Fantastic. I mean, it's the lockout, everything, how crisp everything feels. This is how an MT82 should feel. And I could spend all day talking about why it doesn't. And the bean counters won that battle. But between getting the proper clutch, proper shifter, and a Ben Calimer, you should be good. Now, T56, love them. I've had them in plenty of other cars. Amazing transmission. The reason why I didn't go T56, there's a couple of reasons. One, I already got kind of down that channel of upgrading things like drive shaft, and of course this very expensive shifter, other pieces that were like, man, by the time I budget this out and then I can send my transmission back out to Calimer, get it freshened out, I was like, the T56 is sitting in the cards. It just doesn't make sense. On top of that, you know, there's a little bit of NVH things that you got to deal with versus what this is. This car is still a very street and track car. You know, Boss S, you know, I'll do videos on it, but that's a completely different machine and animal. So I still care about some of these simple things like NVH how the car drives on the street, but I also love going to the track and just being able to stomp. And the Calimer, it fit the bill. That's what I wanted it to do. So ended up going Calimer. Comes in a unique coating. It's a good looking transmission, though you'll never see it. I wish I could put mirrors into the car and be like, look at my sweet transmission. But I mean, that's kind of the thought process of why I ended up just sticking with it. And the first, as I said in the first video, or earlier in this video, that the first transmission lasted for 4.5 years of hard tracking, drag racing, the whole nine. And a lot of that was me learning as a developing driver with that transmission, and it still had together with my dumbass. What ended up having it go is I was starting to get some lockout with a fading clutch, and I just kept tracking it. What would have probably been a simple fix, swap the clutch out, ended up damaging the transmission. So that was more on me. That's not on Calimer, and that was just a stage 1. So I'm so excited to have this car back. In the next video, we're going to focus more on the suspension components, and you know, if you're ready to go to the next step, which means tires. I mean, that's one of the first mods that people do, is they upgrade the tires. And when you upgrade the tires, one of the first things you'll notice is how undersprung the car is. Drives like a trophy truck. It's not really as noticeable when you're driving on shit tires, but when you start getting on a grippier tire, like an RE71R or an RT660, something like that, let alone something like a really aggressive, like a slick or something. I've seen some guys on stock bosses with some Steedis brakes running slicks, and I'm like, no wonder you're slow. Like, that's a horrible way to go about your setup. But we'll talk more about that. Man, this transmission is so good. Oh, so good. It's heaven. But we'll start talking more about that, and you know, some of the other things that you can do to start setting that foundation up to properly modify your Boss 302. I hope that you listen to my other video on what not to do, and this will be kind of more geared toward just a one-stop shop. Learn from me. Don't screw up, and you can get a great setup and then not break the complete bank. But first mod is, you need to figure out this transmission. I'm so excited to have this done and back. So we'll tune in next video. We'll start going through suspension modifications. Just heel towing this thing now is just it's great.